Hello everybody, long time no see. The Banishers Ghost of a New Eden, a hauntingly beautiful journey. I'm always excited when a studio decides to step a little out of their lane, not so far that they are off the map completely, just a little detour. Dotnod, a studio most known for their diverse, narrative-driven titles like Life is Strange and Tell Me Why, have taken a big swing with their latest games, Banishers Ghost of the New Eden. It's a big swing that pays off in a big way, resulting in a game that might not be perfect, but that is unlike anything I've played before. At the head of the Banishers lie its two protagonists, Antia Duarte and Redmag Wraith, a master and apprentice whose connecting extends beyond their work. They are Banishers, the ghost hunters trained to remove the spirits from the world of the living where they no longer belong. Whether by assisting them into the peacefully ascending or banishing them by force, much of their work involves helping individuals who are being haunted. But the case that begins their journey throughout the New Eden is much bigger than undertaking. Called by an old friend to investigate a malevolent presence that plagues their village, the two find themselves face to face with a threat beyond their expectations. One that soon wounds Anthea, turning them into one of the spirits she has long hunted. Banishers live by the creed of life to living, death to the dead. The Anthea, new ghostly form possessed, pressing questions to the couple. Will Everett assist her in moving on for good? Or he will attempt to cheat death and bring her back to life. From the beginning, the game is commentary on life and death, constantly asking you to consider the weight of taking someone's life, even one who has committed despicable acts, along with what it means to ask someone to live with the guilty consequences when they might wish for the opposite. It's a bigger topic, and rarely have I seen it handled so boldly in a game like this. Throughout the arc, of course, undertones of violence, Banishers treat the topic of death with irreverence and curiosity, rather than as something used simply to introduce emotional shock. That's not to say that the game isn't emotional. With every new haunting comes a new cast of the characters, each with their own dramas, traumas, and each requiring careful examination of their motives in order to enact the judgment upon them. Some of the game's strongest moments can be found during these often optional cases with the twists and turns, often taking what might as first seems like a mundane argument between the husband and wife and showing into the complex web of past transgressions and unexpected external forces that it truly is. During each case, you're given the option to either blame the living person for the ghost death, essentially harvesting the soul to be used in the question to resurrect Anthea, or allow the ghost to pass on peacefully or rot in hell forever. If you like me, you'll spend a lot of time feeling conflicted about the fact that it's technically probably bad to commit murder, but that many of them living are also dickheads who should probably face some consequences. It's not always so clear-cut, so some of the decisions are bigger and relate to more prominent figures in the community. As it often true for .NOT titles, these choices can affect the world of New Eden in a big way, from deciding on the leader for the particular segment to affecting the relationships between the sister or the spouses. While they feel like meaningful choices and there is a never good or bad option, the game trusts you to go with your gut and lets you see out the consequences. As it also customary for .NOTs, there's good amount of diversity in these characters, particularly when it comes to the queer representation. They are not afraid to shy away from depressing same-sex relationships even in the game set in 1695, and I'm thrilled about it. Throughout the focus is on Red and Anthea love story, they also make a mean fighting duo. Red combat style relies on the uses of the blades and guns, both of which can be customized and upgraded using materials you find in the world or by buying new gear from the merchants. This is paired with Anthea's much fancier spirit abilities, which allow you to attack large group of opponents at once, or essentially teleport across a battlefield to attack faraway foes. You can switch between these two at any time as you progress, You unlock some abilities that reward you from swapping regularly, so the combat system can end up being quite dense. As the game went on, I felt myself getting into the real rhyme around when to use which Banisher and swapping between them because smooth and intuitive. There is a lot going on in this game, elements of exploration, examination of scenes, frequent combat, constant moral dilemmas, and it's all executed perfectly. There are extra markers and challenges all over the map that can easily distract you, but then aren't always easy to follow, which can result in some frustration. Sometimes the game will straight up lead you in the wrong direction or have you running around in circles. The climbing mechanics is also annoyingly finicky, but ultimately I don't really care about any technical hitches because this game has so much to say and it says in such an interesting way that it knows is going to keep me thinking for a long time. It talks about the women and the role they play in the society and how often they receive unfair treatment. It talks about the complicated bonds between families and how they can harbor resettlement or result in their unflinching loyalty. It touches on colonialism and it wish it had dug it much deeper, but it doesn't avoid the topic entirely, which is rare and commendable for a game. Most of all, it focuses on the complexity of the human nature and how there is always more a story than just right or wrong. I don't think this game is going to be for everyone, to be honest. It has some inconsistencies that I wish weren't there, and I'm sure will call parts of its open world bloated, and sometimes quest markers are hard to see. But it's also made me think. It tried to do something different, and it did. It did in a distinctly dot-not way, and the end of the result was a beautiful story about the characters I will remember for a long time to come. Red and Telltale is one of the love and loss, and it finds the beauty in both. So Banishers is a hauntingly beautiful tale of love, loss, that will remain in mind long after you play it. Once again, Dotnot have proven that they are masters of the storytelling. I was playing on the PlayStation 5, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts about this game, about the plot, about the game itself, and about Dotnot. I also leave all the links in the description, so peace.